Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we are talking about a movie name is The Final Destination. The movie begins with a train track, and immediately we are shown the time of 1968 when Paul built a Skyview restaurant to surprise Iris. Iris gets very excited and happy, and a picture of Iris and Paul is taken for the restaurant's commercial. Finally, they enter the restaurant. The restaurant's floor was glass, everything could be seen from below, and a live kitchen was in the very center of the restaurant. People were partying there, and then Iris puts a rose flower in Paul's pocket, and the thorn pricks her and blood comes out of her hand, which makes her vomit. Watching this, the singer in the restaurant realized that Iris is pregnant, and when she asked Iris, Iris just found out herself. But Iris was still very happy. Here she also sees the singer's son, and for some reason she felt an attraction to this child. Anyway, she went to Paul and Paul brought her to the top view terrace where he proposes to Iris. Iris excitedly accepts his proposal and gives him the good news that she is pregnant, and Paul is also very happy about this. It is here that Iris notices that the singer's son is sitting there, and the mischievous child throws a coin down from above. We are shown that the coin, instead of falling to the ground, goes inside due to the vacuum pressure of this outdoor area, while all these people were partying. When they were dancing, it was shown that the restaurant's floor started to shake. The coin also started spinning inside the AC duct now, and suddenly the floor broke inside the restaurant. Everyone fell down. Paul was holding a piece of glass to save himself, which was also cutting his hands, but he still couldn't save himself and fell down and died. Iris was standing on a safe spot at this time, so she could escape. The coin, as it flew into the duct, went to another place and caused a leakage by hitting the gas pipe, due to which the live kitchen restaurant also caught fire, due to which the singer was also killed, and Iris hid under the piano to save herself. To save herself, Iris came to the lift, which was completely full. Before the lift could go down, a man came and was crushed under it. Thus, the lift got damaged and all the people inside it also died. She went back up and half of the restaurant was also hanging on one side, where people were going to save their lives. Only a piano was maintaining the balance of this whole area. The coin that was spinning in the ducts came and fell on this piano. The balance was lost and this part of the restaurant also fell down, and the people in it were also killed. Here Iris also saw the singer's son, whom she caught. She wanted to save him and take him safely, but the ground beneath her also broke. To save herself, she put the ring between two rods, but then her hand wounded, the ring took off, and thus Iris and the child also fell down and died. And here a girl suddenly screamed in shock, and we realized that all this we had seen were hallucinations of a girl named Stefani. She was sitting in her class at this time, and due to her screaming like this, her class was disturbed. When her professor asked her about this, Stefani said that she keeps having such hallucinations and scary visions. At night, she also woke up screaming after seeing the same scary dream, and then her roommate advised her to go and talk to her family about it. She came home, met her dad, met her good brother, with whom she had a very good bonding, and they both went to their uncle's house, who was their mom's brother. They both had a very good attachment to their cousins. Everyone was enjoying there when Iris asked her uncle about her grandma, Iris. The Iris we saw in Stefani visions was her grandma. Her uncle gets angry hearing his mom's name and tells her that her grandma is dead to them. She went crazy and went to live on an island, and she never came back to meet us after that. This is why your mom's mental state also deteriorated, and she also left us. His uncle left after scolding her, but his aunt helped him and gave her the letters and address and some things of Iris. Among these things was the picture that Paul and Iris had taken in front of the Skyview restaurant. Seeing this, Stefani was terribly shocked. This picture, this restaurant, all of this had come in her vision. Now Stefani went to that barren, deserted island to meet Iris. There was a house, but the condition of this house was quite bad. When Stefani introduced herself in the censor, Iris invited her inside the house. Iris was also very excited to see Stefani. She asked Stefani about her mom, and Stefani tells her that her mom left her in childhood itself. Here Stefani now tells Iris the main thing that she saw her and Grandpa in front of the Skyview restaurant, and the restaurant was getting destroyed and you were dying. I get this scary dream or vision every day and night. Here Iris tells her that the visions you have, I used to have them too. And because of those visions, I was able to save that big accident that happened that day. That day, I took the coin from the child's hand, which caused the whole accident. And then the restaurant floor that broke, I also knew about it beforehand, which is why I announced it on the mic that the floor is about to break, due to which many people already left and were saved from dying. Stephanie asks, surprisingly, did you save everyone's life that day? Iris says, yes, that day I cheated death and saved everyone's life. But death did not stop chasing them. Death started playing games with the people who were saved from that accident. Death started searching for and killing those people. Not only them, but also their children. And if any people who escaped death survived and had children after the accident, death would kill them too. Because if they had died in the accident, their children would not have been born either. I realized these things when death was killing the very people from that accident. Death took Paul in the mouth of cancer, and then I realized that the next turn is mine. To trick death, I came and hid here. If I die, death will kill your mom, her brother, her children, and even you and your brother. But as long as I am alive, nothing will happen to any of you. Stephanie asks, then why am I having these visions? Iris said, because now death is after us. Hearing this, Stephanie was terribly scared. Then Iris gave Stephanie a book that had the stories of how the people who survived the accident later died, as well as the ways to cheat death. Stephanie found this nonsense, didn't take the book, and told Iris that she would come to meet her again. Saying this, she went out. Iris, who hadn't left the cabin for years, decided to face death to save her children and went out to give the book to Stephanie. She said that death will now come after you, and you will have to use this book to escape from it. Stephanie didn't believe her, so Iris said, now watch me die. Here we saw that a gas leak happened from somewhere. One thing got disturbed, then another, and in this way a chain was formed, and something stabbed Iris in the mouth from below, and Iris died right there. Now Stephanie believed Iris's words. 2 days later, Iris's funeral was held, and Stephanie's mom also came. Stephanie understood that if the next death was going to happen, it would be Stephanie's mom's. To save her mom, she started reading the book given by Iris, in which Iris had also hidden the coin because of which she had saved the accident that happened that day. Understanding the whole thing, Stephanie now calls her family to alert them, but no one is receiving her call. It is shown that Stephanie's whole family is partying. In the party, it is shown that the game of death has begun. Here, a glass broke, and a piece of glass fell into the ice cubes. Everyone was taking ice from here. This ice cube went into Stephanie's uncle's glass, and he put the glass aside. Simultaneously, all the other things present here also changed their places slightly, as if everything was happening according to a plan. The glass falls from Stephanie's uncle's hand, and the piece of glass stabs into his foot. Due to the pain, he falls down right there. The vibration produced by his fall causes a lawnmower to fall. The machine starts and suddenly climbs onto Stephanie's uncle's mouth, crushing his entire mouth and killing him. Everyone was very scared by this terrible death. Stephanie was very scared. She now explains to the whole family that death is after them. She explained that after Iris saved the tower that day, death started targeting the people who were saved in that tower. Only their family and one other boy's family were left alive. Stephanie explains that first Iris died, then their eldest son, and after Uncle's death, it is the turn of her daughter. And here, where my mom dies, then I will die. Everyone listened to Stephanie, but no one believed her. Even her uncle's children, her cousins, got angry, thinking she was making fun of her dad's death. There was only one person who believed Stephanie, and that was Stephanie's mom. But Stephanie wasn't talking to her mom properly. Here we are now shown the uncle's eldest son in his piercing shop. He finishes his work, closes his shop, and gets a tattoo of his dad on his hand in memory of him. This time he was wearing a pin in his nose. The focus is on his nose piercing, and suddenly a fan turns on above with a magnetic chain that gets caught in his nose piercing. As the fan turns, the chain also spins, and so does the boy. There was a lot of kerosene below, which caught fire with his own lighters. He manages to free himself from the chain, but falls into the fire below. We see that the fire had also spread to the shop. As Stephanie finds out that the shop caught fire, she decides to go to the shop in the morning, but he stops them by coming in front of their car. It was surprising that he had no injuries, except for his arm. They were carelessly talking when a speeding truck comes and swerves around him, but doesn't harm him. Seeing this, he says to Stephanie, "See, I told you nothing would happen to me." At this time, Stefani found his words completely pointless. Instead of paying attention to his pointless talk, she was paying attention to the things on the road that could potentially harm him. A garbage truck passes here, and Stefani tells him to stay away from it, but he just goes and pats it, and nothing happens to him in reality. The boy now says to Stefani, "See, I told you that you were overthinking things." The boy's other sister also goes for a walk, and suddenly her foot hits a ball, which causes her to fall into the garbage basket, and the garbage truck quickly puts her in their truck. The three of them saw all this happening. Stefani climbs onto the truck without caring for her own life to save her, but what was shown was that the garbage was being crushed inside, and the girl's body was also torn to pieces in this machine. Only her hand remained in Stefani's hand, and she died. Everyone was very depressed by her death. Stefani's brother tells her she was right, but this time Stefani didn't believe her theory anymore because she thought the girl who died should have been her older brother. Then their aunt revealed a big truth, that the boy was not their uncle's real son. That's why he didn't die, but his sister died, who was their uncle's eldest daughter. And upon hearing this, Stefani was shocked, along with everyone else, because now everyone believes Stefani. The dead girl's younger brother now says to Stefani, "So this time it's my turn, Stefani. I don't want to die. Will you help me?" Stefani says she wants to save him, but doesn't know what will happen next. Then his brother tells her, "Look, you figured out what would happen before. Just pay attention to the things around you, and you'll understand." Stephanie remembers that Iris, her grandmom, had told her about a boy who survived that day. He was still working in a hospital, meaning he was alive, and he had also cheated death. He knew how to cheat death, which is why they decide to go to him. When they all come and call his name, JD, he is surprised. Only Iris used to call him by that name. They ask him how he knows Iris, and he tells them that the day the tower accident happened, he was there. He was the singer's son. Knowing this, Stephanie also remembered the whole vision and recognized him. He remembers that Iris had come to meet him many years ago because she wanted to cheat death for her husband, Ball. But despite many tries, they couldn't save his life. Stephanie asks if there are any other people who completely escaped this death, and the man replies, "Yes, there are two people who escaped this death, but not like that. Death first won, death first made them its victim, and they died. But a few moments later, doctors or someone else managed to bring them back to life. And since then, death hasn't pursued them." Stefani says to him, "Please, can you help us with this? Help us." But the man says, "No, I have already cheated death once before by embracing it, but now I have to die too, because I have cancer, and one day we all have to die. Death is our final destination. Before that, we should enjoy our remaining moments." Here, when all these people were very sad, suddenly a brother of theirs has an idea. He will feed his brother peanuts, who is about to die because he is allergic to peanuts. This way, he could die by eating peanuts. But his plan was that as soon as he died, he would immediately bring him back to life with anti-allergics and medical services. But as soon as he reaches the vending machine doesn't work. He was in a hurry, so he puts his hand in and tries to take the peanuts out. And here the screw of the machine became loose, after which they came to a room to hide. He tells his brother, "You stay here, I will go and get an anti-allergic for you." Saying this, he closes the door, and due to slamming the door, some buttons turn on and the MRI machine too. A while later, the boy comes back with an injected and a wheelchair. He now tells this boy to eat this peanut chocolate. Before they could execute their plan, the MRI machine turns on. Due to its high magnetic rays, it started pulling all the metal things towards it. Stefani's older cousin, who had piercings all over his body, the machine started pulling him along with the wheelchair, and he strangely got pulled inside. He couldn't save himself. The wheelchair also broke down due to the magnetic rays and got stabbed inside, and he died there. His younger brother, who had eaten the peanut chocolate, was also in a lot of pain. To save himself, he injected the injection nearby, which made him feel better. But just then, the spring came out of the vending machine that they had opened. After bouncing from wall to wall, the spring finally hit the boy who had just taken the chocolate to cheat death, and he died that way. Meaning, death didn't spare him either. Due to the death of both of them, everyone was very sad. Stephanie tells her mom, Now it's your turn. Iris, your mom, used to live in that house, and I think you should live there too, because she lived there for a long time. Stephanie mom agrees, and then we see that the coin falls out of the book that Stephanie has in her hand, and an old lady picks it up and puts it in her purse. Stephanie quickly heads towards her grandmom's house and tells her mom to go inside. Her mom was quite worried about her two children, so Stephanie said, "Mom, as long as you're alive, nothing can happen to us." Saying this, she sent her mom and her brother inside the house. But we were shown that the gas was already leaking there, and there was also sparking. Although Stefani mom smelled it, she ignored it and went inside. And due to the gas and sparking, there was a big blast, because of which Stefani's car also fell into the water, and she started suffering in the water. Inside, Stefani's mom was also burnt in the explosion, and Stefani's brother, who was still standing outside the house, saw that a tower was about to fall on him. Before it could fall, his mom came and saved him, and the tower fell on his mom. Now he realized that it was now Stephanie's turn to die. He quickly jumps into the water to save her, and when he brings her out, he sees that Stephanie was already dead. He gives her CPR, which saves her life once again. She comes back to life, and they are happy that Stefani died and came back to life. And this way, she could cheat death. They were happy that both of them were alive, but they were very sad because of their mom's death and everyone else's. The scene cuts, and we are shown a scene from a while later where their life is completely normal. It was Charlie, Stefani's younger brother's graduation party today. Everyone was getting ready to go there. Stefani, very happy, puts a rose in his pocket, and the thorn in the rose pricks her hand, and blood comes out, just like the blood that came out of Iris's hand at the beginning of the movie. And seeing this, Stefani understands that the game of death has begun again. The scene cuts, and we are shown that the coin that Iris had saved that day and was now with the old lady. As soon as the old lady opens her wallet, the coin falls out and rolls to the train tracks that were shown at the start of the movie. The coin stops in between the train tracks junction, which could cause the train's path to be disrupted. The scene cuts, and we see Stephanie and her brother again, where their neighbor, the doctor, has come to them. He was Stephanie's brother's friend. He tells Stephanie that her brother told him about her, and he is very impressed. "You are very lucky to be alive today." Stephanie says, "Yes, I am lucky. I died that day and came back to life." The doctor says, "No, you didn't die and come back to life. If a person doesn't breathe for 5 minutes, they are considered dead. But you started breathing after only 2 minutes. This state can be called unconsciousness, not death." Hearing this, Stephanie and her brother both go pale. Stephanie looked at the things around and started seeing death in everything. But their death wasn't supposed to happen like that. The train that had derailed moved towards their homes. The train couldn't slow down. To save themselves, Stephanie and her brother both ran. The train did eventually stop, but they still couldn't survive because some pieces of wood flew from behind the train, got disturbed, and in the end, they were also killed. With this lesson, Final Destination, the movie ended with the message that we cannot escape death, and everyone has to die one day.